Hey, it's CJ here, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the WordPress dashboard, how it works, what the different parts of it are. Hey everyone, CJ here with the Small Biz Academy and cjhalleck.com, and in this video I'm going to be walking you through your backend, or otherwise known as your WordPress dashboard. Going to explain the different parts of it, how it works, and what all the different things do. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm on the main screen, if you will, for your dashboard. You're going to have your dashboard widgets first thing. The main two widgets that you're going to be using as we continue on with the trainings is going to be the pretty link box that you see right here on the right, the quick draft box that you see on the right. Now, don't forget the Small Biz Updates widget. This is going to change from time to time. We're going to be updating and sending more trainings out. We'll update in the dashboard when new trainings come out, so make sure you keep an eye on this section. And from time to time, we'll be putting stuff together like this fun little video I put together for you here with Joyce Meyer's little mix that I put together a while back that I put up for you guys. So this is your dashboard homepage. Very basic, self-explanatory. The pretty links we're going to cover in a different video. Quick draft is basically what it says. If you have a quick idea for a blog post, you don't want to spend the time to write a full blog post, you just want to get the idea up there, you can come straight to this box and put the title in for let's do top 5 things every entrepreneur should know about websites. And then on the topics you can have 1, hosting doesn't cost a lot. 2, you should always own your own domain. 3, images are king. 4, always give good content. And 5, have fun. Right, so it's just a basic breakdown. Of course, I wouldn't post a blog post at this short. I would make this, headlines or subheadlines, and then I would come underneath it and add more details to explain what each step means. So this is just a quick way to get your ideas down. Click Save Draft, and it automatically goes to your drafts folder, which you can find under Posts. So basically just want to show you how that works. That's it for the main part, front page, if you will, of your dashboard. We're going to go ahead and move on down. Your update section. It's very important that you make sure all your plugins are up to date and your WordPress is up to date. Now, before we go into updating WordPress, the first thing you're going to want to know is if the site is compatible with the newest version of WordPress. Sometimes WordPress puts out some very big updates, and sometimes the coding within the updates may not be compatible with the WordPress thing that is currently installed on your site. Whether you're using the Small Biz 5-page build or you're doing a blog or whatever the case may be, you may not want to update immediately until you know for sure that it's safe. So when it comes to the 5-page build, Anytime I see a new update come out, I'm going to test it on one of my smaller sites that I have the same build out on, just to make sure it's safe, and then I'll make sure to update that over in the home section right here in the small biz updates. So you'll see an update, whether it's maybe a video. I may put a headline here that just says, safe to update, and then just go ahead and go through it that way. So just make sure whatever you do that you pay attention to this section anytime you see updates. Other than that, if you see plugins or anything else that are up to date, I highly recommend, first off, that you back it up. Always want to have a backup of your site before you make any changes to it. Once you back it up, and we're going to cover how to back up a website in a later training. Once you back it up, then install the updates one at a time. Don't install all of them at once. If you have like 4 plugins that need updated, and upgrade or update one, go back to the website, go through it, make sure nothing crashed, and then move forward to the next one, so forth and so on. Your posts, this is for your blog posts. And you'll see here, this is the draft that we worked on a couple minutes ago. Blog posts, the difference between blog posts and pages are basically, they're the exact same format. You can build them out to look the exact same either way. But with posts, you want to make sure that you don't put solid, you basically put, the difference is pages are for content that's going to be displayed as the website, and then posts are for content sharing with your followers, whether it's tips, tricks, tutorials, or news type stories. If you want to share something that happened, if there's a person in your organization that got promoted and you want to give them a shout out on your website and say congratulations to John Q. Rogers, who just got updated to account manager, and tell a little background story about him or something, whatever. But you want to make sure your posts are more for content, trainings, news stories, things of that nature. Your pages are going to be more like about us, contact, find us, our services, things of that nature. If you want to do individual pages for each of your services, same thing. So basically put how to do a new blog post. You're just going to click on add new inside of all posts. And then you're going to have the basic structure here. You'll enter your title in here. You'll type your content up here. If you want to add media, you simply just click on it here. Find an image. We'll just use this one since it's here. And drag it over, and it'll automatically install for you. Or automatically upload it, everything. You'll want to fill out your alt text for whatever it is. So we're just going to put dummy content and dummy content. And the caption is just what it says. It's just a small caption underneath the picture as you embed it on your site. You'll want to come down here to the attachment display settings, decide how you want it aligned. If you want it to link to something, what you want it to link to, and the size you want it in. For most of the time, if you're putting it in a blog post, you want to make sure that it stays somewhere around 300 pixels for the display, so when you insert it in, it doesn't take up the entire screen. And then other than that, this works basically just like Microsoft Word. You'll just use your toolbar toggle. This is your what used to be called the kitchen sink, and then it just works like it does. So I mean, if you want to go something in bold, you have your text here, you just highlight, boom, it's in bold, or it's in italics. If you want it justified, if you want it centered, left, whatever, bullets. Like I said, it works just like Microsoft Word. It's very easy to use. If you have any questions on this, we'll get into a deeper training here in a couple weeks for the proper blog post structure, and in that I'm going to go through the different things, and of course we're going to add plugins and go over different features as the training progresses. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on to categories, which, as you see right here, is uncategorized, is the only category that is here right now. You want to make sure that you, one, don't use uncategorized. If you're going to do something like category like general, and you can add a new category by simply clicking add new category, general, and add, and it's automatically there. And you want to be somewhat specific. If you're a let's say construction company and you work on building new homes and you want to do blog posts on and you're doing like lessons, things of that nature, on how to train or you're training people how to do small projects around the house, like home improvement tips, then you would want to add a category for home improvement tips or for energy efficient tips around the house or something to that nature. You want to be specific. So that being said, and then of course once you get finished, there's featured image is another thing. I almost forgot these two. I don't even know how I did that. Featured image is going to be 90% of the time what shows up in social media when you share your link. There's always there should be a picture that goes with it. You will set that here, and you simply do it just like you did the other one. You can either use the media library and select one that's in the library. You can come over here and upload a new one. For this one, we're going to use the media library. You make sure it's checked, set featured image, and it's automatically there. And then tags, it's just kind of like a basic way to do your keywords. So if it's about painting, then you're going to just go house painting tips, add, and then how to paint with a roller, or best paint to use for interior. And if I spelled anything wrong, that's who I am. I'm good at that. I can misspell words without even trying. So that being said, so that's tags, that's your featured image, and then you have basically put three very important pieces right here. You have your status, which is where you can decide if you want it pending review or draft. Because it's only you working on this right now, draft is fine. Visibility, you can make this private where nobody can see it but yourself. You can make it password protected, where you can set a password if you want to do a blog post that goes to a certain set of customers and you just want them to look at it. You can put the blog post up and set a password for whatever, and then just when you mail out your customers, or if you talk to them on the phone or whatever, just let them know what the password is. And then of course private, which will automatically just show up to anybody who goes to the website. And then this part right here is one of my favorites, and I used this a lot back when I was doing the StayBoosted.com, which is a fun little personal development site that I've ran for years. Not posted on in years either, I don't think, if I remember correctly. But anyways, this will let you either publish it immediately or you can schedule it out. Now, I want to give you a very solid piece of information and advice that was given to me by Gary Vaynerchuk a couple years ago. We were driving down the road. We just left one of his conferences, and I was taking him to the airport, and I was asking him his thoughts on scheduling scheduling posts through this and through social media and things of that nature. And he said it's a great tool, but you need to make sure that you stay on top of what is scheduled the day it's supposed to go out. Because, you don't want to sit here and schedule something for, let's say we put it April 26th, right? Whatever day that is. And let's say, heaven forbid, there's a massive shooting or a bombing or hurricane came through or tornadoes, something massive disaster happens, and like 20 minutes after the disaster happens, your post about how to paint your home properly goes out, and you're in an area that was affected by that disaster or problem, and you're gonna end up losing quite a bit of people who initially might want to follow you, but you're gonna look very insensitive to the issue. So you want to make sure that you just stay on top of it. You may schedule it out, but each day that you have something scheduled, you want to stay on top of it. So I'm not going to ramble anymore. We'll just keep moving. And then, so basically you set your date, click OK, and then hit publish, or it will turn to schedule if it's not set to publish immediately. So I am going to move this to trash because I don't need to publish this. So we're going to leave page. Okay, so the next thing is your media library. This is pretty much where you store all your media, your pictures, your videos, PDFs, things of that nature. You'd want to upload them all, MP3 files if you're doing audio training or things of that nature. And we've already went through the upload process. If you click Add New, all you literally have to do is grab whatever you have, drag it in, and let go. I'm not going to do that because I try not to load the server with a whole bunch of stuff that I don't need. But it's very basic. You just drag it in, make sure you fill out the description and the alt content. Pages, like I said, it's the same thing as blog posts. It just works a little. Excuse me. Let me go ahead and get a drink. Yeah, so it basically works the same as blog posts. We'll just click on Add New. You have the very basics, the exact same settings. The difference is it just posts as a page instead of a post. Now, if you want to edit pages on your site, you have like the earnings disclaimer and the About Us page, terms of use, things of that nature. You're going to want to go in and just hover over it and click edit, and then here's how you edit the site. If you need to upload media, of course you do it that way. You just go in here and start typing away. When you're done, click update. I am not going to do that because I don't need this gibberish or whatever. So next thing is comments. And it's going to ask you, if you try to leave a page, if you're working on something or you haven't saved it, it's going to double check, make sure you want to leave. So pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure you update when you change things. Comments, of course, it's just as it's called. It's comments. It's comments that are going to be left on your blog post. You want to make sure you stay on top of these. And you want to make sure if you approve a blog post that it's an actual, if you approve a blog post comment, that it's an actual comment left by somebody for your blog post. You will get some comments that are, I guess you can say, spam. You'll get some where they'll try to sell you Dolce & Gabbana bags and Gucci this and Air Jordan shoes and new iPhones and just a whole bunch of random stuff. Make sure that it's an actual comment, and you'll know because there'll be a link listed on the comment. And if the link goes out to a sales page and the comment is very generic, like, hey, just wanted to say that I love your site, what theme are you using? Or what's your favorite plugin that you use on this site? Stuff like that is spam comments. So make sure that you don't approve those, because you're going to end up being targeted for more, and then it's just going to become a headache, and you're going to get thousands of comments a day for stuff that you really don't care about. So moving on, the next thing is your appearance section. This area you won't be in much. You'll have the customized section, which we went over in the early videos, to cover your title and tagline. Navigation, this lets you to choose what menu you're going to use, and for this we just use menu 1. It's just a menu that I had created, and we'll go over the menus in a second. Your widgets. This is going to be for your blog page. It's going to be the sidebar, if you will. Well, for these, it's the footer section. I feel a little stupid on that one. It's Monday morning. Give me a break. So the widget section, this is just the different widgets here. This is how you're going to change that information out. So you just want to add a widget. You'll choose what you want to do. You know, if you want a list of your pages, recent posts, an RSS feed. So we'll just do oh no, that's not the RSS feed I was wanting. Delete. Now you know how to delete a widget. So let's say in this area, because it's always best to do it this way, we'll just do it like this. And now you have this area here where it's going to show the RSS feeds, a link to WordPress.org, which happens, you're fine with it, it's not going to hurt you. Site admin, this is where you're going to log in. So if you want to put this on your website, that way it's a quick way to log in, so you're not having to go to the URL/WP-admin. You just go to your website and click here, and it'll automatically take you there. You know, and then you can, you know, there's a list of different things you can do. If you want to do a text and just say, you know, these are the cities that we serve, and list, you know, 4 or 5 different cities you serve, or, you know, a breakdown or a small letter from the owner or something like that, whatever. Then you just want to save and publish, and that'll automatically save the widget section. And then static front page, leave this as is. That's the only way for this template to work, is it needs to be set to your latest posts for all the widgets, you know, the builder with all these fancy boxes and all that stuff to work. So we're just going to go on back out. That's the customized widgets. This is going to be your sidebar, your primary widget area, footer widget area. You want to make sure that these are filled out. Put stuff in it, so when people go to your blog post, you may have a Facebook like box or something like that in that. And of course, we'll cover all that later in later trainings as we get through the how to build a Facebook page training and all those other ones. So we're going to come on down to menus. And this is what you see at the top of your website. Now, go ahead and open it up. As you see, this is how it's laid out right now. So let's say you want earnings disclaimer to be where terms of use is. It's very simple. You just grab and move. Now if you want about to be underneath home as a drop down, all you have to do is move it over, save menu, and then we'll come over here and refresh. And now you guys have a fancy drop down. So it's very basic to use. I'm going to go ahead and move this back. Save. Very easy to use. If you don't have, if you're wanting to put a link up here that is not on your a page of yours, you can simply come down to links and put in the URL, or you can put a link to your blog post category if you have a specific category that you want to drive traffic to, and then just add the menu and you're good to go. Always remember to save. Theme options, we already covered that. Editor, now this is the part that you need to pay close attention to. Most of this is coding. If you do not know coding, and this is all different files, if you will, with a whole bunch of coding in each one of them. If you don't know coding, please do not click on editor. There's nothing in here that's going to be easy for you to use. If you put a period in the wrong place on this, it could crash your entire site. So please be careful with the editor section. Plugins are just things that you add to the site in order to do different things, in order to give you different features, like WP Clone that we use to install the dummy files and dummy content. So just a small plugin, a feature that's added to your site. WordPress SEO, it's one of the best SEO feature plugins. It's what I've used for years. I highly recommend it, but it's not active for a reason. This is going to be a huge training all in itself. We're going to grab a SEO specialist. Still talking to 2 or 3 other people, trying to see which one is wanting to actually come in and help us with the training to make sure we get this right. But that being said, we're going to cover the WordPress SEO plugin in a later video. So the rest of this, we're going to go through what each of the plugins are, how to use them, and the power behind them, all that fun stuff in the next video. So stick around, we'll go through that in a section. Second, how to upload new plugins, add new. You can either upload a plugin or you can search. And, you know, if you want, let's say, Next Gen Gallery, right? This is a fun little plugin, if you will, to do photo galleries and things of that nature. All you have to do, install now. It'll go through the steps. Click activate. You're good to go. All right. Next thing is users, which we've already covered. How to create a new user and how to delete a user. Don't have to worry about anything there. Tools. This is if you currently have. Excuse me. If you currently have a website on WordPress.com and you've been blogging for years, you want to bring that over into your new website, you can do that with this tool. You just click import and then you just upload the file that WordPress.com gave you when you backed it up. Settings, it's basically what it says. General settings, this is how you can, another way to change your title and tagline. You don't want to change your WordPress address or your site address. If you do, you're going to hate it. And then basic information, the date, how you want your format, time, what day the week starts on, basic stuff, writing. You can convert these to graphics. It's totally up to you. I like having the graphics up. I'm kind of a kid that way. Reading. This is the part I was telling you about. Leave it as is. Discussion. This is for comments. If you do not want people to comment on your pages, you can turn them off here. You can go through, leave different things that you don't want on it. Show avatars. Fun stuff like this. Media. It's just basically how you want the basic upload to go when you upload pictures to use them in your posts. So you can change the size if you have a specific size that you want to use. Permalinks, that's the actual URL. We already covered that in an earlier video. The floating sidebar. This is basically a fun, cool little plugin that I found years ago that makes it so if you have a long blog post and you scroll down, the content in your sidebar will actually move with it. So if you have a call to action to sign up for hosting or a call to action, and I said that just because me, it fits what I'm doing. So, but regardless of what it is, if you have a special running that week and you put it up in your sidebar, you want to make sure that it stays with the reader. And this plugin allows you to do that. But once again, we're getting into plugins. We'll move later. The rest of this is all plugins, and these are all plugin features. Basically put, that's your rundown for the dashboard. I'm sorry it took so long. Just wanted to cover it as in detailed as possible, in depth as possible. Cover every small detail. I hope it helped. I'm sorry I rambled some. Took a little longer than I expected, but it's part of life. So that being said, that's your breakdown for the WordPress dashboard. Hope it helped. I'll catch you in the next video. Till then, why not? Stay boosted.